Has anybody seen Todd, Steven?
I thought he was going to be here on time, but apparently not.
Of course, his seat's empty.
Yeah, as usual.
I'm here, guys.
Oh!
You can't even see me, can you? Can't see me wearing my redneck burqa.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, let me just talk about what Todd
Camo
actually...
tuxedo.
What he's wearing. That is a lens blind or lens hide from Lens Coat. I'm friends with the guy who started Lens Coat, Scott Elowitz, and he asked me if we wanted to try this thing out.
Floating hands.
It's honestly really cool. If you were going to shoot out you're a nature shooter, you would put on one of these lens dresses, whatever you want to call it. They come in camo, and they also come in white in case you shoot in the snow.
Looks like a beekeeper.
But
Here comes a bird for you, Jared. I'm going to shoot him.
There's a bird in the loft.
There's a bird in the
Get in
loft.
here?
Would you get beat up wearing this burqa at a Trump rally, though?
It's possible.
Maybe not.
I don't know,
Not married.
but the thing actually has value that nature shooters know that this would be great out and about shooting because it helps you blend into the environment. You put your lens out the front of it, and you're basically good to go. You want to take it off, Todd?
And they'll just sit there for hours,
They
right?
will sit there for hours.
Even
but
days.
This will help you blend in.
Wear
And
this and it
patience.
depends, and you're good to go.
I believe it's $120.
$120.
Which honestly isn't that bad.
I mean, that's a big... That's
There's a
giant.
lot of
That's
material
huge.
on
Yeah.
that.
You could fit like 2 people in there.
It fits on your head pretty well, though.
With that hat.
It's got like a little beanie at the top that settles on your head.
Little yarmulke at the top.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because that thing's pretty cool. I think we're going to make some videos with it. It will be fun to have.
That's cool.
But go to lenscoat.com. Check it out. He's a friend of mine. Just a really good guy.
And we use the word friend loosely.
Let's get started. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk number 175. And the first thing that I want to acknowledge and talk about is that I went to bed last night by myself with 499,961 subscribers or something on YouTube, and I knew that somewhere over that time
Course of the night, yeah.
that I would end up with the 500,000.
500,000.
Now, the thing to think about with the 500,000, thank you. It's cool. It is cool, but obviously there's no difference between having 1 and 500,000 in terms of it's another number. Like you roll over, which is great. And
Yeah, nobody cares about Joe no matter what the number is.
the thing that I wanted to acknowledge the most is that hitting 500,000, I mean, there are some YouTubers that hit 500,000 every 2 months or every month.
Yeah.
They add another 500,000. That is what it is. But for me, it's knowing the fact that over 500,000 people in the last 5+ years have physically
Went out of their way.
taken action to say, yes, I want to subscribe and follow what this person is saying. That means a ton.
Yeah.
Because, you have 500,000 subscribers, and a lot of them don't watch every single video. And I think a lot of them
I don't.
A lot of them may have subscribed many, many years ago and don't follow at all anymore for various reasons, and they just stay subscribed. But the fact that people took that action and did that is awesome. And I think the more telling number is that it's 71 million views.
Huge.
Over 71 million views across 2,000 videos means that a lot more people than 500,000 have been touched and
Actually,
and viewed a piece of content.
Mm-hmm.
And so having people go ahead and subscribe means a lot. Sure, I'd love to hit 1 million because
Who doesn't?
who doesn't
Awesome.
want to do that?
It's awesome.
What do you get when you hit 1 million? Like a gold plaque?
You get a gold play button.
And you don't get anything for 500,000, right?
No, just 100,000.
Million.
And I don't know if they still do the 100,000
there like a
because
10 million mark?
there is. It's a diamond. You get an actual. You get a diamond play
Ballin'.
button. Well, there's only. I don't know. There may be 30
Handful
some
of people, yeah.
with 10 million, but they've had to expand it as time has changed.
One day.
Well,
One day.
I'm trying to evolve it so that the subscribers grows quicker, but it's about the interactions.
Yep.
And over time, you've got Facebook, you've got other places that are starting to take away from the whole YouTube thing. But I'm really appreciative to everybody out there who has taken the time to at least watch one video or hit the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, where is it? Over here?
You can do it over there.
Or is it over here?
Yeah.
The subscribe button is right here.
Or more like up here.
Bing! So go ahead, and if you haven't subscribed, the reason you would subscribe is so that you can hopefully get my videos more often. Now, YouTube needs to get better with this.
Yes.
They need to let people know that they can pick the subscribe. The way that they do it isn't very good right now. Sometimes people get notified. Sometimes people don't get notified. It would be great if they could consume more content because I put out so much.
I'm subscribed, and I feel like I only get notified once every like 3 weeks when you put out a video,
Which is
And
bad,
It's usually like a week or two after you put out that specific video, I get notified.
I feel like it's a couple days at least
yeah,
that
it
I get a
always is.
notification.
Mhm.
Which
and
is
then
crazy.
rarely it'll be like the day of, but
Yeah.
it usually never happens that way.
Right, so that's something that
It's an issue.
we need to find a solution to so that people will consume the content as soon as it goes live. But again, thank you guys very much for that. It's just great thinking back to when I started, and what you need to remember is that everybody starts with zero.
Yeah.
It all starts with zero, and when I would get 20 views on a video or 100 views on a video, and then it would start to build to 900 views, and it just continues to evolve. And that's the cool thing about it, and I really thank you guys for consuming the content, the fun, informative, free. The goal for us, keep doing more. Make it bigger, make it better, and we'll see how we can make it grow.
Oh, yeah.
So let's jump into the plug.
Yes.
Todd, what's the plug this week?
Hoya!
What was it?
Hoya!
Hoya is part of a conglomerate. You got Kenko, Tokina, and
Whole
Hoya.
bunch of them, yeah.
We've been talking about the Hoya HD3 filters.
Yes.
And those are fantastic for what they are, but we talked about that a lot, so check those out if you're looking for UV or you're looking for the circular polarizer. But the Kenko makes these extension tubes, automatic extension
Yep.
tubes.
Ooh.
Todd likes extension
I do
tubes.
like
you've used them a
extensions.
This is
bunch,
the
I do.
cheap man's, the cheap way to do macro, and Todd is that. An extension tube is exactly this. It is simple.
I
It's
love 'em.
simply just literally an open hole. It's an open hole that you connect your lens to,
Let
and
me borrow that.
and it that could work for you, Todd. It extends your lens away from the background a little more. Like this is a 36 millimeter, this is a 20, and this is a 12, and it gives you the effect of macro.
Yep.
It gives you the close focusing
focus.
effect. It doesn't give you the edge-to-edge focus that macro gives you. But if you want to do this on the inexpensive, you can buy one of these rings, or you could buy the set of 3 for like $100,
Yep.
I think, or $90 for the set of 3. And so this is something that's good to have whether you're a wedding photographer, nature, or you just want to play around. And being that these are auto, I think this still retains the autofocus capabilities. And because I also have the manual ones, which are less
Nice.
expensive as well.
Todd,
I
do you
love it for video.
Do you own a macro
I do.
lens, or you
I
only
actually own one, yeah, because...
But you prefer this usually, right?
I feel like then I can use it on any lens. Like it just gives me
Always
more
in the
options
bag
for
kind of thing.
video.
Yeah.
Because for video, sometimes it's all about the details, and the details you got to get up close and personal. For me, I specifically saw the beauty of it when I shot a manufacturing commercial.
Yes.
And I had to get really close to like the little thing cutting out the water, cutting the metal, and we couldn't get the lens all up in there. So that it was amazing how well it worked.
I mean, I love
was
macro
sold from
lenses.
there on out.
Yeah.
I love macro lenses.
use-
The thing is, $1,000, $600,
Yes.
more, depending.
At least, yeah, for macro.
I go macro all day if you can afford it, but if you just want to get a similar effect, check out those extension tubes. But also, this was the EVO, not extra virgin olive oil, the Evolution series. This is the anti-static, the one that is water resistant, stain resistant.
Oh, the one we rode on last
Do they
time,
make
right? Or tried
underwear
to
like
ride
that?
on.
Do they make underwear like that? No, but basically, you can take a Sharpie.
Oh boy.
You can take a Sharpie.
Don't do it.
I shouldn't have swapped those lenses out. Those,
And you do that, and you
Whoa!
did you see that it dissipates?
I don't even see
it
it, at
doesn't
all.
even make a mark.
Well, it does, but what it's doing is
It
it's
does?
creating beads. There's just beads there, and then you could wipe that off.
Wipe it on your
Lick your
shirt.
finger and then wipe it off, Steven.
Oh, I see.
Here, I could use this to do it. You could use this.
Yeah.
That should probably just wipe it right off.
Yeah, it's already
Wow.
coming right off.
And so
this isn't the best thing to
impressive.
use.
no,
but-
this isn't the best thing to use. You could honestly use your shirt or a lens cloth,
Yeah.
but the reason I show that is because people sometimes go into extreme environments to do work, and you may need a tougher filter or one that's going to get rid of
Water.
the water beating off or the stains or anything. That's like, imagine a paintballer. You
Yep.
put a couple of those on if you have issues. Again, it's personal preference on using filters. It is personal preference, but if you know you're going into a situation, I would rather have that thing get ruined than my lens.
Yep.
The one guy that watches, Dave Stufflebeam, I think.
Stufflebeam.
Yeah, he watches and he does paintball and he always
does.
stacks up filters. I wonder if he uses that.
The last thing I want to talk about is this is a Tokina step up or step down ring.
Step up.
What this means is if your biggest lens is an 82 millimeter, you don't want to have a filter that's 82 and then buy a 77 in terms of the circular polarizers. In terms of UV, you get the right size of UV for your lens. But if you have a circular polarizer and you want to use it on a smaller lens, a 77, a 67, whatever it is, 62, you get step-down rings.
One filter and you're good to go.
What's
These are
that
like
cost?
$10, $12.
Inexpensive, yeah.
They're not
That's a
very
steal.
much.
Yeah.
that's
These
great.
allow you to take your other filters, your other filters and step down or step up. It's just a inexpensive
Doesn't matter
option.
the filter
You
thread,
buy
yep.
the one filter, the large one, and
Yeah.
then you step your way down so that you're not buying the same filter over and over. I wonder if they like that I say that, or I'm basically telling people not to buy multiple filters.
Don't buy
Don't
20
buy
filters.
multiple
Buy
filters from
one.
these people. Buy one and then use the step-down ring.
Buy multiple step-down rings, you'll be good to go.
But step-down rings are definitely
Yeah.
important. So that's you can go to Hoya. You
Hoya.
can look up their stuff. You can go to the Tokina lenses
Tokina.
and the what is it? Hoya, Tokina, and
Isn't it Aquatech too?
but they do have
Aquatech.
Aquatech also. All right, that's that. We're gonna get into photo news in just a second.
Yes.
We started requesting Adobe
30 for 30.
Photoshop, Adobe
Lightroom Photoshop?
Adobe
or
Photoshop Lightroom Creative Cloud. Adobe Photoshop Lightroom CC is the official way they want it said.
Yes.
The first time it shows up. Every time after that, it can be Lightroom. That's how corporate works.
Oh, we just screwed up that one.
You can go to fronosphoto.com/LR3030 to see how you can submit your own RAW file as a DNG for us to consider editing during the 30 for 30. The 30 for 30 is where we're going to do 30 Lightroom related videos in 30 days. So they're going to be raw edits. I'm bringing, what's his name?
Adam.
Adam's coming
Richie.
in. Richie's coming in.
Me.
You're going to do some editing. I'm going to do editing.
Definitely not Todd.
I'm gonna do what?
Todd's not doing editing. And then there's going to be quick tip videos as well.
Yes.
So go to fronosphoto.com/LR3030.
And just make sure that they don't submit zip files, they don't submit JPEGs, just one DNG with the JPEG built
Edited
in.
DNG. It's
Yep.
not with the JPEG built in. It's just
Well, it saves it as the
it
JPEG
saves it as
preview.
it has a preview,
Yeah.
but that's embedded.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
Well, maybe I can send in my pictures from the photos I took of Morgan's dance competition.
you took pictures again?
I did.
Were
and
they
how'd that
terrible?
work
I
out?
took your bag as well. It worked out well. The bag worked great. The pictures were good. I think my shutter could have been a little higher.
So can we critique them next week?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I went all manual. I just think I should have bumped my shutter a little faster.
Well, we'll
But I'll
critique them
talk.
next
I
week.
can tell you about it when you look at them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that-
I feel good about them. There's
that
not a
was
ton
good.
of them.
Do you guys want us to critique Todd's work to see how it's progressed from
course
the?
they
You felt good about the wedding pictures too.
You know what? Screw you, Steven.
That is funny. That is true. So why don't we get into some photo news music? Why don't we use 10-year-old dance competition music for Todd's daughter?
Oh, I have that already. Here it comes. That is not what happens in there.
It's like your go-to dance
That's
move
my
every
go-to
time.
dance everywhere because people are like, "Do you know what you're doing?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm milking a cow."
Yes, I'm down on 13th Street. What do you expect?
Whatever, Todd. Whatever. But with the dance competition, good.
Dude, I mean, it was a 2.5 hour drive there, and then you wait 3 hours to watch 3 minutes, and then you leave and drive another 3 hours home, and it was well worth it to see her. They
Was it
did
just
really
one,
well.
One song or
They did one song, 3 minutes,
Wow.
and they won second place. And I found out they only won second place because they did some illegal move. I think maybe it was the crane or something. They kicked somebody the wrong way. But,
or they would have
the
won.
Neo move?
but they were awesome. They were awesome. It was
I do
really
want to
good.
preface photo news too. It's kind of a light week for news, so there's not as many stories as normal.
Light
but
flow?
I think that's
So
fine.
you couldn't steal that much this week?
Exactly.
Thank you.
We have a quick update first. Adobe has updated Camera Raw to version 9.5 along with Lightroom CC to version 2015.5. Along with the usual small bug fixes, it now supports a bunch of new cameras, some that aren't even out yet. This
Yeah.
is like a first, which is why I wanted to bring this up. For example, it now includes support for the Nikon D5, again, not out yet, D500, Canon 1DX Mark II, and the new Sony A6300.
It does the Mark II also?
The Mark II as well.
So what is cool
All these
here-
cameras not
well-
out yet at the time
Well,
of this
actually,
recording.
I think I know. So the difference is because they announced these cameras earlier, they had more production units out there. Maybe that gave them a chance to get Adobe the cameras because we know that Adobe wants to reverse engineer it themselves.
Yep.
And so the fact that we've run into this issue in the past where we would get like the 7D Mark II
All the time.
early, and we're like, well, I have to shoot JPEG plus RAW to hopefully. We want to get the reviews out quick. But you can't really do
as soon as possible,
an honest review if you don't have the raw files.
Mm-hmm. Now, also with the 7D Mark II, wasn't it like a month later when they finally added support to Lightroom?
It was a long time.
It was a really long time. So to have this out before the cameras are released, huge. And again, that's why I wanted to bring that up. The new release also supports a handful of new lenses, which I linked to over on the website. You can check all the details out. Whole bunch of new lenses.
If you want to do our Adobe Fronos Photo 30 for 30, and you want to follow that along when it does launch officially, fronosphoto.com/LR3030. If you want to get a free trial of Adobe Photoshop Lightroom CC, aka Lightroom, you can click over there because I have a link there taking you to get a free trial.
Free.
Nice.
Instagram will soon be changing their feed, mimicking Facebook's top news posts, that whole algorithm.
Yeah.
The current Instagram feed remains in chronological order, which I personally prefer, but will soon change to a new algorithm that showcases top images it thinks that you'll want to see. The Facebook-owned company posted a new blog post titled, "See the moments you care about first," which notes the upcoming changes. They say in quotes, "The order of photos and videos in your feed will be based on the likelihood you'll be interested in the content."
Yeah, but isn't that why you connected with a person in the first place?
Exactly.
Is because you're interested in the content that they put out?
It also says based on your relationship with the person posting and the timeliness of the post. As we begin, we're focusing on optimizing the order. All the posts will still be there, just in a different order. So we'll see how that turns out.
I hate it.
Well, the thing is, it would be interesting to know that as you scroll through, if it recognizes that you've already scrolled, liked, and commented,
That's what I wanna
so that
know.
it doesn't show up again.
Because Facebook, I swear, I just see the same posts over and over. Even if I have to adjust and do recent stories first, every time I re-log in, it goes back to top news posts. It's just really,
I hate change.
really annoying. And then they use an example. They say, if your favorite musician shares a video from last night's concert, it'll be waiting for you when you wake up, no matter how many accounts you follow
Which
or
could
what
be
time
good.
zone you live in. It could be good if they do it right.
Well, I'm not one of these people that has gone to social media right now that they've announced this, and gone, oh, blah, 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 blah,
There's no
blah.
point.
Why are you changing? You don't know if it's going to be good or bad until it happens. And guess what? It doesn't matter if it's...
Nice censor.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't matter what they change to because you're bitching and moaning about it and saying that you're going to run away. It's not going to change them making this decision. It's not happening. Same thing always happens with Facebook. So they get 400,000 people to sign a petition out of 1.6 billion. I don't think your 400,000
fraction,
is gonna hurt it, and it's not going anywhere. So let's just wait for it to actually happen to see how it does work. Because maybe they'll put a button in there, and people will see my work more often.
Like
maybe,
Facebook does now.
That's when I'm just going to unsubscribe to you.
well, maybe my work will get more reach.
Yeah, or it could get less reach.
Or it could get less reach.
It could be like Facebook when they changed it where your news posts aren't now coming on every single
and
person's
guess what?
page.
We figured out how to make that work. You figure out how to do it, and you just keep evolving.
Yeah. And then no word on when the official change will roll out, but I'm sure soon. And then we have...
Changes.
Pictures could possibly replace our password on Amazon, according to a recently filed patent. The new patent explains how selfies taken with a smartphone or tablet could be used in place of a password before making purchases.
What's wrong with my thumbprint?
Exactly.
I love my thumbprint.
Seriously,
I love
I
that
do
way to
too.
log in.
Yep, but they say you can't just hold up a still photo of the person. The patent explains that it would require a user to make an expression of some sort.
I'd prefer to use DNA.
They say they want you to either wink an eye or move your head left to right, and that
Here,
will
I'll
then
wink an eye and give you some DNA.
unlock your password. And again, it's just a patent for now.
Is it that hard for me to go like this? Okay, I'm in.
I feel like that's much more secure too, because especially with like you have the new face swap apps and how easy it is to redo someone's face and make them wink or whatever it may be. There's probably ways to crack that.
Imagine if
versus
a twin was there and it's like, I'm getting into my twin's stuff.
There you go. And then you can find a link to the filed patent for more details. I posted that as well over on the website.
That is on fronosphoto.com/RAWtalk-175. All the photo news stories and more tend to show up on a Monday morning. If you're
First
watching this
thing
before
Monday
Monday morning, consider it a privilege to see it early, and all the news stories will be found there. And if anybody comments and says you listen every single week and you can't understand where the news stories are, you obviously don't listen every week.
And make sure just to click the read more button because they're all posted under that. I mean, I thought
When
that
they
was
go
common
live.
sense, but might not be.
Steven, are you yelling at the people at home?
Stop yelling,
To the
Steven.
people that yell about it, yes.
You're always interrupting.
Anyway, we have a wedding photographer named Francielli Santo got her car broken into last week and lost about $10,000 of camera gear and all of her clients' wedding photos from that same day. The photographer is now making a public plea for the thieves to return just the memory cards so she can retrieve the
Where's she
couple's
from?
photos. Well, this took place in Boston. I'm not sure where she's actually from, though.
What figures?
Return the camera bag, please, and then I will go ahead. Do you like apples? I got a number.
Somebody broke into my
love
car.
that joke.
I got my camera stolen out of my car.
Oh, it's because it's from...
Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
Please, my photography won't go very far.
Wait, I think we found a transformer.
I went into the bar and somebody stole the camera out of my car.
Please return my camera card so that we could get to Cape Cod on time and take some photos. What a great Boston accent.
Anyway,
Oi.
Nailed it.
she's offering about $1,000
What is she offering?
for the memory cards.
Well, funny thing is,
hairs.
Todd, what would you want for those cards to return them? Don't answer that.
She says that after dropping her assistant off, she stopped for a few minutes to pick up friends in Boston and locked her car, giving the thieves enough time to break her window and steal her 5D Mark III along with the rest of her equipment out of the trunk. Now, when I say trunk, this was like a Scion or something like that.
No, it was probably
it's
a,
like a hatchback.
it was probably a
Some hippie
a,
shit.
A Subaru Outback. That's not look. The best way to make sure that your gear does not get
it
stolen
with you.
is to
Take
have
it
it on your
inside.
person
Yep.
at all time, or at the very least, take the memory cards
Yep.
with you. I mean, we know that when we're traveling and stuff, we don't even let the bellhops take our equipment. They probably think I'm being a dick, like I'm worrying that they're gonna steal something. My concern isn't that the bellhop is gonna steal my stuff. My concern is that maybe they won't treat it like I would treat it. But the best way that I can protect from anything happening is that I keep it on me. It's on me if something happens. It's on me.
I love watching
It's usually
Jared.
on me.
I love watching Jared watch the baggage handlers out the
my
window at the airport. He's like,
Is that my bag?
"Is that my bag? They better be careful with that. There's $1 million worth of stuff in there."
When was that? Because I usually check. I usually don't check my stuff.
When we
Never
went
do.
to
Nevada?
Yeah.
When we flew when we had
you had to check
yeah, but
it.
guess what I did? I talked to the flight attendant and I said, "Hey, if
I'll sue you,
no," I said,
and I have a Porsche.
I have a I had the airport security
Yep.
that we were traveling with, and this plane was a small
So
20 person plane,
Yeah.
A little puddle jumper, and
shaking
we
every
knew
time
that
it
we would
flew.
face this where you would have
Yep.
to check it. So I took most of the stuff that was really important out and put it into the backpack that I carried on. And what ended up happening is there was an empty seat in the front of the plane. She's like, "Oh, we'll just bring it on and buckle it in." So she brought my suitcase, my roller bag on. But we were okay with checking it. But I was just like, "Please don't stack anything on top."
Yep.
But I
Oh
took.
yeah, you were definitely that nice about it.
I wasn't a dick.
Staring at him.
No, I was
Death stare.
I was very.
Don't touch my bag.
Doing a power walk back and forth across the windows.
It's not true. I'm not that guy.
But we do- I
his
always-
tight pant power walk.
Always bring the memory cards with us. If we do
Yes.
have to, especially leave our stuff with the bellhop, last resort, like we have to check out,
Yeah.
always we bring the memory cards.
Yep. I used to back up at weddings. I would offload the cards.
And we back them up on top
Well,
of that.
when I'm saying at a wedding, I would have my laptop and a hard drive connected, and I would transfer the files throughout the day.
Right then and there,
Right
yeah.
then and there. So it would be on a hard drive and on a card.
Smart.
And one of the things that people can do is give the assistant the backup hard drive because they go two ways. Like if their car blows up for whatever reason,
Yep.
at least they still have the stuff.
By the way, I was at a wedding this past weekend and no assistant at all. No second shooter, nothing.
How was it?
I was surprised. I don't know how the pictures came out.
I didn't
but
feel like I
seemed
needed an assistant.
Seemed like Todd
I
did a
killed
pretty
it.
good job.
I nailed it.
Did you bring your camera and were you that guy?
Nope, didn't bring my camera.
You sent me a
Nothing.
Snapchat of Uncle Bob.
Uncle Bob was running around like a maniac, dude. All behind the groom, everything. It was bad,
Really?
man. It was really bad. During the ceremony.
Really?
During the ceremony.
And the other photographer was not happy?
You can tell that she was
Was it a
definitely
camera or
annoyed.
was it a phone?
It was
Uncle
a camera.
Bob.
It was
But
like
it was
a
like-
D3300,
It's
something
like
like
a
that.
low end
Low-end
something.
Nikon for sure.
Nice.
And beep was still on, flash going off and everything during the ceremony. Yeah, not cool. Anyway, she didn't tell the newlyweds about the loss of their images just yet either. She says that she doesn't want to
Hopefully
ruin.
they don't listen to the show.
Yeah, right. She doesn't want to ruin their honeymoon, and she was on the news about this whole thing. So hopefully they didn't see the news. And
Of course, somebody saw the news and said,
exactly.
"Is this you just got married? Was this your photographer?"
Yep. She tells Fox 25, "I went crazy. I was crying. Nothing compares to her wedding day."
Crazy. I'm going crazy for you, baby. It's all in love, 'cause I'm going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Steven Tyler has a big mouth.
Yep, moving on.
Do you know who has a bigger mouth?
Who?
You?
You?
No, my mouth isn't as big as Steven Tyler's. Britney.
The singer from Fun. He's got a huge mouth.
Oh, I didn't. I said Britney.
Oh. Well, I'm just saying the singer from
The
Fun.
singer, Nate Roos has a big mouth.
Huge.
You like his mouth?
Not really. He has a big mouth, and Britney from Alabama Shakes. Thanks,
Shakes.
Noah.
Anyway, she goes on. She says, I cannot replace that. Speaking of the pictures, I'm brokenhearted right now for the photos, and I'm the one suffering
Don't
right
break
now.
my heart, my achy, breaky heart.
God.
I just don't think you'd understand. And if you break my heart, my achy, breaky heart, I might just blow up and kill a man or have a daughter that sits on wrecking balls naked.
Yep. She says
With
she's
sweet. Oh.
She's urging pawn shops to keep an eye out for her stolen equipment, and you can see the video interview that she did with
Check
Fox
Chumley's
25.
bomb shelter where he's got all his weed and guns.
Did you say Chumley?
Chumley from
heard
Pawn
about
Stars. He
that,
got
yeah.
arrested. He had like a whole like.
There's a whole TMZ story about it and all
Yeah.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
But the interview shows her broken into a car, and you can see the smashed windows and where her trunk was as well.
So
I'll be right back, guys. Real quick. I'll just be back in 1 second, okay? Wait, what just happened? I went in for one burrito. Where's my stuff? Oh, my God.
Ma'am, you're gonna have to settle down real quick.
Oh, my God. I don't even know. It's my first wedding. It was my first wedding. Oh, my God.
We've got an Instagrammer named Chris Klein. He's been using Photoshop to turn his dog named Juji into a Clifford-like 10-foot giant dog.
I'm Clifford the big red dog.
The photos range from Juji riding on the back of his bike to him riding him like a horse, to him riding in a canoe with it flipped up with the weight of the dog in the
that's
back.
funny.
Like yeah, it's pretty good. He says it usually takes him about 4 hours to produce an image from the initial taking of the photo to the final edit in Photoshop. And he tells Petapixel in quotes, I love that I can offer others the gift of making your dog larger than life, because in a dog owner's eyes, that's exactly how we see them. He goes on to say, I keep thinking I'm going to run out of ideas, but with him around, they just keep on coming. Now, the Photoshop isn't perfect, but there's some really funny images in there. That's why I posted it. He's got his whole Instagram following now based off these dog images. And you can find a link to all the images over on the website. Good
Cool.
stuff. Yeah.
My dog's farts are larger
Creative.
than life, but
Your dog is just silent but deadly.
oh.
Chet just walks up to you and you just sit there, and the next thing you're like, oh my God, Chet.
I came in this morning after dropping Morgan off
What do
to
you
school,
feed him, though?
and I made a loop around the entire
Tacos?
house looking for a pile of dog shit because it was so rank when I walked in the door. My eyelashes went. Eek.
But did you ask your mother-in-law?
Oh.
No, that's a different scent. I know what her shit smells like. Smells like Lysol potpourri and old lady.
That was
old
Lil.
lady.
That was Lil back in the day. It was funny because
Spray the crap out of the
we had to like restrict Lil's usage of Febreze because
Is that like Noah?
because all you would hear, like a normal person goes tss, tss, and walks away.
They're just like
all you would hear is
it was like Agent Orange, Vietnam. Jared, I need another can. But Lil, we bought that this morning.
Did you eat all the tasty cakes? No. They're right here.
They're in the toilet.
They're right next to the toilet in the Febreze.
All right, we have some drone stories this week. The Drone Racing League has officially kicked off and released a video of the Miami Lights final, which was held at the Miami Dolphins Stadium recently. Now, the video, shot similar to like a live sporting event, shows POV footage from the drones and even includes live commentary.
Dave
and
Leno?
Dude, exactly like Dave Leno. Pilot interviews.
Here comes number 2.
After like each lap,
Number
how they
1
did.
passes.
Terrible.
Number 2 is only 0.2 of a second behind. Oh, and 3 crashed. Oh my God, in flames. And look at that. A crowd member just lost an eyeball from a flying drone.
Yeah, very, very ESPN. Like they even got their own like side host.
This week on the Ocho, ESPN 8, we've got basketball, the finals.
And you
that
can
was
see,
that was dodgeball.
Yeah, you can see the full 13-minute race, which includes like wipeouts, crashes, all kinds of stuff. The winner gets a giant airplane prop as his trophy. And they're spraying like champagne everywhere, like it's very like NASCAR like winning ceremony.
And that's not going to go anywhere.
And I do want to note that they have everything from like a 3D course overview of the entire course at the Miami Dolphin Stadium to like behind the scenes clips from the pits to even pilot interviews, all posted on their YouTube channel. And I'll link to all that as well on the website. It's interesting. They're posting a ton of videos.
Yeah.
They've got like 20 videos in the past 2 weeks that they've been posting.
Cool.
So it's a lot of stuff. And it's kind of funny to watch. On the topic of drones too, a photographer named Jeff Kremer used his drone to make a 3D printed model of a giant statue of Jesus in Peru.
Jesus?
Jesus. The tech used to create the model was called
Yahweh?
photogrammetry, which uses several images to create a 3D map of an object or a space. Using a DJI Phantom 3 Pro, he took around 110 photos from 3 different elevation points while the drone was automatically flying around 360 degrees around the statue by using the point of interest mode. Yeah, so he can still control the camera. Now, using a program called Altazer, he then made a 3D rendering of the statue. After that, he used a program called Autodesk Momento to make the final 3D model and the wireframe. He then used a service called Sculptio to actually make the model printed, since they offer full color printing.
That's
and
cool.
He says, in the end, it took around 10 minutes to fly out and take the photos. It took a couple of hours to do the point cloud render. I edited the render in about 10 to 15 minutes, and it took about a week to get the final product in the mail.
And then he got arrested for stealing Jesus's photo. Phone call.
Phone call.
Yeah, hello, you son bitches. I'd like to see if I can get the little drone to fly around my Lord and Savior Donald J. Trump, because I'd like to put in the backyard a giant statue of the Don, and so he can oversee me, my wife, and my daughter and her sweet, sweet titties. Thank you very much. Then it'll keep you son bitchin' hippies away from my backyard, and I won't have to drag you out, punch you in the grill, and give you a chin check like Uncle Jesse did. Goodbye, you.
Looks pretty cool, but it's not super detailed. The model itself.
Or he could have just gone and bought this is in Brazil, right?
statue.
Or he could have just bought the statue from made in China.
Would have been a lot
of
easier
Jesus.
and a lot more detailed. But it was cool to do that all from a drone. Really interesting stuff. And then we got one last story this week. Again, a light news week. An upcoming company called Parachute is trying to be the Netflix of the camera gear world. Their new subscription-based model offers unlimited rentals for about $150 a month, with the first month only being $99.
All right, explain.
So here's how it works. You fill out a gear wish list and profile questionnaire. Their staff will then curate a top gear list based on your list and shooting needs. You will then receive all of the gear from their list, which you can keep as long as you want. And then once you're done with it, you ship it back via a prepared shipping label. You can then try something new if you want.
But so I want my D5 with a 24 to 70, 14 to 24, 70 to 200, all the memory cards, all the extra batteries for $150 a month.
I'll send it back to you in 2 years.
And they don't say how limited it is to what you're getting. They just say they'll check out your list, see what you really need, and then give you that amount of gear.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna zinga with a zinga zing.
But so you'll get that D5, and you'll just keep paying this $150 a month until you return it. And then they say if you really like it, they'll sell it to you at a discounted price. And they say there's no contracts, no hassle. That's what they claim. Now, you can reserve your spot before they publicly launch, because this is a brand new company. And I posted their teaser video along with their link over on the website. You can check it out.
I think I'd rather go to Borrow Lenses and do it the authentic way.
I agree.
Because something tells me that's not going to work and fly.
We'll see.
Borrow Lenses, on the other hand, is something that works.
Yep.
And you know that
It's
you
been
can,
around too.
Yes, you can get the gear that you really, really want, I wanna.
Zigga.
And is that photo news?
End of photo news.
Why don't we do Jesus music?
Jesus
Brazilian
walks music.
Brazilian
Cue Kanye.
No, we can't. We'll get sued.
I know.
Brazilian Jesus music in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, brought to you by audioblocks.com/go/Fro.
Savior, Donald J. Trump. Please kill all the hippies.
All right, so that's photo news. We
photo
are getting
news.
into it's Gear of the Week time.
Gear of the Week time,
Do we have
yep.
multiple gears or one piece of gears?
I don't know. That's
Every
a
week's
question for you.
multiple.
Cue me gears.
Pointing means you, Joe.
Is that on?
No, it has the reflection
I saw
of
the reflection
the stoplight.
Yeah. I just see green everywhere. I'm like, what?
This is the DJI Phantom 4. I got to take it home from the thing that I did in New York City, where I sat on a panel.
Yeah, how was that?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Panel of wood.
It was at the Apple store. No, so this is gear of the week because this is what, $12.99. You can pick it up for the first 15 days. So from the until April 1st, the only place you can buy it is at the Apple store. Exclusive to the Apple store. They have 400 stores with them right now, and you can pick it up there only. And then after that, it becomes available everywhere else.
I'm pretty sure the Apple stores used to sell Parrot drones before this.
I don't know, but this is a hell of a lot better than the Parrot drone. What's cool about it, obstacle avoidance.
Yep.
I wish it had obstacle avoidance on the top, because one of the
And
things...
these are the sensors on the front, too.
Yeah, those are the sensors on the front. What I personally would
4
like
altogether.
to do is take it into the hockey rink and have it fly around. But the only problem is I don't want it to hit the ceiling.
Yeah.
I wish they had sensors up here so it could stay away from
Detect,
indoors, so
yeah.
you could fly it indoors. Or we
I
could
guess
just
they
have,
think you're going to be flying it outdoors. So.
yeah, but I think it would be cool for the follow me and the track. We talked about this last week when the announcement. I would love for it to track me and follow me on the ice.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. So maybe we'll just have to try it out, being that if we crash it, they'll send us another one.
Yeah. Just don't
I'd
have
like to
Todd.
break it. Thank you.
I don't even know how to take the...
Well, they're different this time. They don't
Sorry,
actually
I put 'em on the
spin
wrong-
and lock
the wrong
in this
blade.
time,
No,
correct?
you press and lock.
That's what I mean. They're a little different.
I still
Glad you
can't
read the
figure it
directions
out.
beforehand.
This way says unlock.
That's broken. That's
I can't figure it
Don't
out.
mess with it.
Anyway, new battery, 28 minutes. I heard somebody say...
It's a thick boy.
Somebody was like, I'll wait till the batteries allow me to fly longer. How? 28 minutes?
28 minutes, I think, is enough time.
And you get and then when you buy a second one, you're flying for 56 minutes
Yep.
of airtime.
You just get multiple batteries.
Well, I do hate, though, that every version they put out has
Is
a
a
new
new
battery.
battery.
Because if you get a ton of batteries,
Yee.
the next
Yeah.
year, there's another new battery already.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I mean,
this thing-
I think shots that you use with the drone like that are like, you use them for openings
Establishing
and
shots.
mega
Yep.
shots,
Yep.
but you don't. You're not using it to shoot an hour-long
The whole
movie
story,
at
yeah.
all.
I agree.
No, and I think we're going to see if we have a way to put it into our workflow, into maybe our 5-minute portraits. Maybe. I don't know
If
what
we're doing it
gonna do.
outside and if we're not in New York or somewhere that doesn't allow it,
Not allowed to-
not next to an airport, I think we'll be fine.
Not allowed to fly in New York whatsoever.
Let's just take it down by the federal building and see how that works.
Perfect.
Let's try to make a 3D copy of William Penn on the top of the building. William
That'll
Penn.
go over huge.
Yep. They'll
Huge.
love that.
They'll be like, excuse me, sir.
Use that bazooka.
The drone bazooka.
Yeah.
But this thing, what's so cool about it is the obstacle avoidance, the tap to fly, meaning you can tap
Lot
it,
of cool new
tell it
features,
where to
yep.
go, and it will fly, and then you can hit the gum home button if it loses signal,
Yep.
it will come back. But then also the follow function, the active, they call it active track, where I could be on a bike, or like we did in cue that footage from the Grand Canyon.
From Grand Canyon,
So
yep.
in the car, Todd was sitting in the back. Steven was kind of doing spotting, I believe.
I was looking out the window.
Out the
basically.
window, and Todd was flying it for the second time after he crashed it the first time.
That was fun. You
when
love
he
that.
when we thought he broke it before we even
Weed
got
whacker.
to take it off. He was weed whacking. We had to turn it off to turn it back on. But what he would have been able
We
to
had to take
do,
the battery out.
yeah, what he would have been able to do with that is touch the car.
Yep.
Highlight the car, and then let it. And while it's flying, it will keep the camera on the car no matter where you fly it.
Insane.
And then what Michael Perry was telling me from DJI is that if you hit the stick one way, it will start to create a perfect 360 circle.
Perfect circle.
Perfect circle.
band.
And that's kind of what we were trying to do. And,
Yeah.
you hit it a couple times pretty good. And,
we-
again, you need it for 10 seconds here, 20
But we still
seconds there.
flew it for like 20 minutes, give
Yeah.
or take.
Yeah, yep.
But that was great.
Well, and
then
the
that huge
phone was
storm
almost
flew in.
dying.
Yeah, the phone almost
and
died.
there was a
That's
storm
it.
chasing it. It was
Oh
a
my
whole
God.
The
That
storm in the
massive.
distance is awesome. You can see that
Yeah.
how you could see the rain following us. But when we fly it, I went ahead and bought a iPad Air 2. Unfortunately, the iPad Air 2 is going to be replaced, we think.
Well, money means nothing to me, so I'll just throw it out after it's done.
Jump change.
Yep.
I'll put it next to my Porsche, Todd.
There you go.
I'm going to put it in the Porsche.
Put it in
as-
the back seat in Boston. Let
Put it in
somebody
the trunk.
take it.
Yeah.
The only reason I bought it now is so that we could start flying and playing and testing, and Apple gives you a nice return policy, especially when a newer version comes out. So that's the plan. I'll return it and exchange it for the new one if we think we need it. But I want to have a because we can't. I would love to use this, this isn't exactly going to fit in the
Yeah. And I
in
think
the
we
thing.
should have dedicated iPads for the drone. We should have dedicated like phones to trigger the GoPros.
Exactly. So that is Gear of the Week. You can check out your local Apple store up until the April 1st is when it is able to be sold on Amazon and everywhere else. So
April 1st.
Go to your local Apple store and see the coolest people you ever see.
the geniuses.
Greatest hipsters ever.
All right. So there you have that. Now it's time to get into flying solo, and we're doing something a little different this week for flying solo. I've got your flying solo questions, and then I have Noah's flying solo questions.
What?
Meaning, about a month ago, Noah started
Word Shop 101.
101, and he sat here before he even started, and we had a discussion about branding, marketing, and getting started. Well, he's been started. He has it out in the wild, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to bring him back on with his questions to follow up in a quick 15, 16-minute little discussion so that I could answer his questions, and then we could jump around, get up, and get down, and answer your questions for flying solo. So let's roll into Noah's interview right now, followed by your flying solo. All right, Noah, welcome back.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's been, what, about a month?
Since the project started, yeah.
Right, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to get in here and have you ask questions now that you're a month in and do some rapid-fire things. Now, for anybody that doesn't know what's going on, Noah started a website called WordShop101.com, even though when I was critiquing his website, I somehow missed that he's had Workshop 101 somewhere, but luckily he made the correction. What?
Is that necessary?
Well,
Is
it was
that
true.
really necessary?
My job here is to critique what you do.
All right, let's do this.
We are doing it.
Is
We
this
got to
it?
rapid fire this. Let's get your questions going.
All right, so I've already established the YouTube page. I've gotten about 250 followers so far.
Which is great.
Yeah, in about 2 weeks, garnered nice following. And I want to find out ways that I can broaden my web presence, first of all, being one. And then secondly, once I've got a large enough or substantial enough following, what are some of the steps that I can take to get sponsors?
Well, I want to yell at you about the sponsor thing.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because I don't think you should look for that right now.
How come?
Because the thing that you do at the beginning is that you continue to deliver consistent quality content and add value. The more value you add, the sponsors will come in the future. You have nothing to offer the sponsors as of right now.
Okay.
But
Why do you say that?
well, because you have 250 subscribers. You are considered, you're just starting out, which there is nothing wrong with that. As you cultivate the following, the most important thing that you can do right now is you can interact with everybody, ask questions, get feedback, reply to their questions when they have questions, make those pieces of easy, consumable pieces of content when somebody has a question. Instead of just answering it in the comments, make a quick video reply to it.
Okay.
Make it a video reply, because that's another piece of content. Tag it, title it, subject it, and get it out into the world. I mean, that's what I did at the very beginning. If somebody had a question, I would pull up and I'd be like, all right, I'm going to make a video about this, because I might as well.
And you would publish those to each of your outlets, right? Not just YouTube, but Twitter, Facebook,
Okay, so
the website.
Well, always on the website, it's a new post. Always on YouTube, yes, and then upload it natively to Facebook. Also, you could link back to it on your website, from Facebook to your website, but you could also put it out on Twitter. You could either do a link to the website, or you could put the YouTube video right there and hopefully ask people to subscribe. Are you asking them to subscribe in the video?
No, no, probably not.
Well, you should probably lead off. Hey, it's Noah here with Wordshop 101. Before we get started, if you guys, if you want to stay in touch with me, please go ahead, subscribe here on what's it called? YouTube. You can pop the subscribe button up. I can give it to you, or you can find it on YouTube. And then I can give you the link format that when somebody clicks on it, it automatically pops up a subscribe button. Instead of just taking them to your page, it pops up a subscribe button and puts it right there, and they can click it. Now, you're asked, you say, by the way, if you want to follow me more often, or you want to see all the videos that come out, please hit the subscribe button. It would mean a lot to me. And then get right back into the show. Like, get right into what you're going to be talking about. And so I would continue to make content, but also ask your readers for questions. Very similar to flying solo, except you'll answer 3 questions and move on, or you'll answer 1 question and move on. Because when you do 1 question, it begets more questions. Another thing I used to do is the Skype line. I opened up my Skype line, and people would just randomly call from anywhere around the world. Maybe I should open it up again and record, because that was easy content that I used to make. People would ask questions. That was I started to stop doing that because it took a lot of time. Maybe I should get back to that, but that's an option that you can have.
Sure.
A way that, hey, I'm on, like, put out a Skype line. Go onto Twitter and put out a Skype question. Hey guys, I'm going to go on Skype right now. Call in or let me know what your Skype name is if you can talk right now, and then boom.
Right. So all this brings a couple questions to mind. One, as I get started,
Yeah.
do I want to be aiming for consistency or volume?
Hold that, because I forgot to ask. I didn't answer your sponsorship thing fully. The whys.
Please elaborate.
The whys. And are you going to ask me about monetizing on YouTube, or was that part of the sponsorship question?
No. I wouldn't even know to do that.
Well, you shouldn't do it right now.
Okay.
The reason you don't monetize, turn on those videos, is you're not getting tens of thousands of views a day or a month. So it's really not going to add up. I rather suggest that you turn off all ads. Don't let any ads happen on YouTube to just allow people to get right into your content. They need to be more familiar with you before they decide to sit through an ad. Because why would they invest their time in that 15 seconds or to hit the skip button if you're not delivering value?
Sure.
Now, the skip one, you may be okay to do that, but I wouldn't even bother with it right now. Just build the following. Sponsorship can come in the future. The type of sponsorship, though, you can reach out to is you can get free stuff when it comes to book reviews. Call all the publishers. Email all the publishers. Find out who to talk to at the publishing companies to get review books. And they will start sending them because you have a present. You show them the website, you show them the YouTube. 9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 100 times, the people that are doing the PR just want to find another outlet to get their books out there.
Yeah, and I've actually done a video on that, which y'all can check out on
Don't
the
ever
YouTube.
talk to my camera.
I just
Don't
to it.
ever
I'll
turn
talk to it again
that's
right
my
now.
camera.
You can check it out on the YouTube channel.
Turn into this one. This is your dedicated camera.
I might just look at both. I did do a video on reaching out to publishers for review copies.
And how's it working?
What?
Have you gotten any stuff in?
Oh, yeah. Publishers are very responsive, especially smaller presses, because they're really eager to get their stuff out into the world and have it seen by other people.
And that also leads you into the ability to interview the authors.
Yeah, it certainly does. And something that I do caution in the video is that you don't want to take advantage. Like, if you're just trying to get free books...
Yeah, don't be that dick.
Don't be that person. If you're actually going to do something with the content that they send you, have at it.
Yeah.
Certainly. So I wanted to ask you a couple things. So starting out, do you want to go for consistency or volume? Do you want to establish like a consistent, reliable, scheduled stream of content, or are you trying to just barrage your viewership with as much as you can?
So it goes.
What are the dangers in both?
Oh, so the dangers in both is that you put out too much content that isn't good, and people get tired of it.
Okay.
I run into this constant battle with myself over the last 6 years. Do I put out too much content, and is it bothering people? Mm-hmm. Or am I hurting the views on certain videos by putting out a new video really quick after or a day after? And I don't really, for me, I don't know if there's a sweet spot because I've never stopped to see what would happen if I stopped putting up content to see where it would go. I think consistent quality content is important. I don't care how many videos you put out, they become fishing poles. Everything is a fishing pole, especially when it comes to reviews. The review part is if somebody's searching for that particular author, they may find you in the fold. I don't like when somebody puts out one video a week. That's 4 videos a month. That is not a lot of videos a year. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you're able to have a consistent relationship with people, but I do think a schedule is important. Sure. Just like we put out RAWtalks on Mondays. I used to have a thing where every Thursday was Lil's video. So I haven't personally followed a schedule, but I'd like us as a company to start following a better one, which we may do when we get into the Fro Factory. But more about you is I think it's consistent. And I wouldn't worry about putting up multiple videos a day if you have them. Mm-hmm. Because somebody may not like your book reviews, but they may like your Q&A answers. So they may tune in for that. So you may have 5 different streams of content. Somebody may like 2 out of 3, but at least they're coming back and they consistently know when. So a YouTube trailer. You should have a welcome to my YouTube page trailer. Mm-hmm. And that's a video that you put up and say, hey, welcome to my YouTube page. By the way, if you like it, go ahead and hit subscribe. Let me tell you a little bit about my channel. On Mondays, I do this. On Tuesdays, I do this. If you've got questions, you can find me on Twitter, on Facebook, send them in here, and then you can start answering their questions. Make that a 2-minute or less video that's introducing people to your channel and to you.
Which
quickly.
I've already done. And you can find at facebook.com/wordshop101.
Wordshop 101.
Yeah.
Are you trying to you feeling better in the camera? So keep going.
Oh, yeah.
Questions.
I mean, I think that to answer your question first, I think, since the last time that I was at the table, I've definitely learned to be more comfortable in front of a microphone and sort of let my inhibitions down a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, feels good. Feels good.
Right.
But
on the YouTube, do you have a trailer that asks for the subscribe?
I do.
So you ask them to subscribe?
Yes.
Okay.
And to sort of piggyback on what you were saying about persistence and consistent quality, I was wondering, does it become a nuisance to your readership? And I think I just answered my own question. It's that as long as you're putting out quality content,
nobody can.
There's no nuisance.
Well,
it isn't a nag. It isn't a barrage. But if it's quality,
if you deem it to be quality and there's stuff that could be pulled out of it that has value, then who cares if you put out 100 pieces of content in one day?
Sure.
Yes, it could be cumbersome for people to sit there and watch it, but the people that are going to follow are going to consume it and they're going to learn from it. And if you perceive it as being quality, then you put it out. Get onto your own consistent schedule that you feel works for you. The easy stuff that I loved making early on were the questions or the critiques of other people's work because it's user submitted. You don't have to think super hard about what you need to do. You just need to react to the question. And it's just easy to say, okay, this question came in today. It's John Doe had this question. I'm answering this for him, but maybe you had the same question. And by the way, if you have more questions, go ahead and submit them here, and maybe I'll make a video answering your question. And that's easy.
it can be easy. It can be. There are layers of complexity.
Okay,
to it,
what are
though.
they?
Well, I mean, so you and I were both artists. We've talked about this before, and we're talking about artistic integrity. And if you're putting out advice to the world about art, you got to put some, a few levels of thought into it. I don't think that it's wise to just react. I think that you have to think before you react.
Well, your questions. I don't know your questions coming up right now, and I'm just reacting to them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
But it's different.
Well, I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't want to have canned answers. When I get interviewed or I go on shows, I don't want to know the questions beforehand.
Well, these aren't canned answers. These are thoughtful responses.
Well, of course you should have a thoughtful response. You should know the direction you want to go.
Right.
But I don't know I don't know your questions in this case, so I'm just answering.
It may just be that I'm slower than you are.
Mentally, maybe.
That might just be it. That's besides the point right now. But before we run out of time, I did want to ask you about how you came to memorize, or how you came to the ability to memorize all the material that you project in front of the camera, because you do go a mile a minute, and it is very impressive to see how you're able to do a single take without having to think twice about it. So, and I imagine that took some practice, right? That didn't just come firsthand, did it?
No. I mean, early on I was trying too hard, and we're talking about before Frono's Photo even started, trying too hard to think of what to say beforehand instead of just doing it, instead of just reacting and letting the thoughts flow. I think a lot of it comes down from knowledge. The more you know about what you're talking about, it's much easier to, in the spur of the moment, just spit it out. I don't understand where the retention of data comes from in my mind, but I'm able to absorb it and then regurgitate it somehow, some way, based off of facts. Steven knows this. When we sit there, and I may not know much about the product, but then we go through and sit there and talk about all the specs or something beforehand, or the important stuff, and then I'm able to just spit that information out somehow. I don't know if I have a photographic memory, though I like to say that I see images in my mind and I can recall certain things. So my brain and as I stutter through this, for whatever reason, I'm able to think while talking. So I'm articulating a point while the brain is starting to think of what to say next. And so I see that in my head, and I see the direction of where I'm going, and I'm able to have that inner dialogue while talking and somehow still stay focused. Sure. I don't know where that comes from.
Sure. So let me put a scenario in front of you then. Imagine that you put out a video, and regardless of how you went about it, whether or not you responded giving it some prep, or if you responded immediately, and let's say that somebody responds to the video with something thoughtful, something that brings up a good point that might contradict or change the way that you felt about whatever it was that you said.
Right.
Do you respond to that?
In a positive way, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, if somebody brought up a point that you didn't think about, then absolutely. Then you can say, you know what? I didn't think of it that way. That is a great point. And then you can build upon that. It's all right. I mean, you can be wrong. And then you can also have your mind change. Like I've said things 6 years ago that are different today. It's just the nature of the beast. Sure. Times change, ideas change, thoughts change. Like back then it was, oh, you got to have the best of the best of the best. And if you don't, then it sucks. And then now, you pick up any camera like a T6 or something, go out and shoot. It becomes less important. So, as you grow, you change.
Yeah. I mean, that's just something that's important to my process because, as you know, I'm documenting the process of learning something new, of writing a novel, of making a podcast too. I mean, that's something that's wholly new to me.
Sure.
And
it grows.
And yeah, exactly. And I guess we're running short on time, but something else I've been thinking about is how a project evolves and how you address those changes to your audience, by, let's say at the beginning you said that you were doing one thing and your goals change. The project, it evolves. So how do you address those changes, or do you just sort of go through without acknowledging them?
No, you acknowledge certain things. If things are needed to be acknowledged, you flat out say it. Hey guys, I realized I had a change of thought. I want to take this a different direction, or I want to go another direction, or I had somebody made a great point. Call it out, because that's the interaction that you have with your readers, letting them know that something they say that was positive had an effect on you. That makes somebody feel like, oh, you know what? I said that. I left that positive comment and Noah reacted to it. That's awesome. I'm going to continue to watch. So,
cool.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
That's it?
Thank you.
Wordshop101.com.
Indeed.
You can find the YouTube, you can find the Facebook, the Twitter. Noah is writing a novel. That was where all of this started. You can check back a couple of RAWtalks ago. I'm not sure which episode it was, where we had the initial discussion with Noah starting a channel. It actually forced him. He had only 2 weeks from that discussion to get everything started.
That's right.
And now it's just going. You feel okay with it just going?
Yeah.
And it's good.
It is good.
And is it helping your thought process in creating this book?
Yeah, actually, a lot of it feels like being, the best. It feels a lot like the best parts of being in school again and being a student.
Nice.
Which is something that I like having in my life.
All right, so that's it. We'll do a follow up with Noah at some other point, but this is just a Q&A session. If you're looking to create your own thing, it's going to be great to follow along with this marketing advice or this business advice, branding, whatever we're talking about, because it could resonate for you. No matter what you do, whatever your job is, if you have some creative outlet that you want to talk about, whether you build model airplanes or model cars or love Legos or whatever it is, you like vegetables, it doesn't matter. If you want to talk about it and share it with the world, then follow along this, because it all works. And all right, let's get back to the show and get into your flying solo questions.
Thanks, Jared.
So there you have it. That is Noah's interview. We'll do more follow-ups with him as he progresses. I think it's a really cool thing for everybody to really think about.
Yeah.
How could you do this yourself if it's something that you want to do? But we can follow Noah's progression from zero.
That's the interesting part, seeing it how it goes from 0 to 500,000.
And if he gets more than me, I will punch him in the face.
I can't wait for that
I'll
day.
be like, are you kidding me?
I love your discussion about how, what you do to prepare and everything you memorize.
Because pre-production is huge.
You didn't even mention pre-production. I just can remember everything.
There is none.
I don't need a teleprompter. I remember everything.
We don't use them.
As I cut the VSL with all the cursing. This is stupid. Who wrote this? I can't read this. Nobody speaks
This isn't
like
legible.
this.
The VSL, so if anybody, what a VSL means, video sales letter. Those are the videos that we put on the website that that introduce the
Products.
Fronos Photo Guide to getting out of Auto, or the Fronos Photo Flash Guide, the Fronos Photo Guide to video editing is the
Like
one
a
that's
little
coming
teaser, yeah.
soon. It's the video, and the point is that you want to hit specific words and topics. It's written a certain way. So I have one of my marketing guys who I work with who writes things a certain way, and that helps some people decide that they want to buy the guide. I prefer making the video part. Some people like reading. And I'll be honest with you, when we were reading through it this time, sure, some of the things seem like they're written interestingly, but by the time we get to the bottom of it, you're like, I want to buy this guide. I mean, that's the point of a VSL.
Oh, yeah. I think when we walked away from it, we were like, oh, that actually sounds really good. Let's get that.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into the flying solo questions. These are your flying solo questions. Yeah. We have Mark Scott. Hi, Fry.
Hey, Fry.
Hey, Fry.
Hey,
Futurama.
Fry. And where's Bender?
Oh, Fry.
Where's Leela?
Ooh, Leela.
Lilu Dallas Multipass. Hi, Fro, Stephen, Joe, Noah, and Todd. Last. I want to say I really enjoy watching the show each week and your other videos. It had helped me in so many ways, but my question is, when you move into your new place, would you or have you thought about doing a call-in so your viewers can ask you stuff on air?
Just have a hard line.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do a call-in show.
You don't even have a landline there, right?
I don't have anything there yet.
You would just use Skype or something.
We're going to get fast-ass FiOS.
Nice.
At least $150. I looked into it. 150 up, 150 down is under $80 with tax a month.
Means RAWtalk will probably take like 20 minutes to upload.
10 gigs.
It's like an 8 to 10 gig file, yeah.
It wouldn't take long. I mean, you see what I upload stuff at.
Yeah.
I uploaded 9 terabytes to Backblaze in 1 month. But that was maxing out the whole thing. But no, I don't want to have a landline. Again, I've said this before, is we used to do Spreecasts where people could then ask stuff live, and what it would do when somebody would get on and I couldn't hear their audio or their video was off or they had a terrible question, it derailed my train of thought. It derailed the flow of a show.
Yeah.
And so in this case, when we ask for flying solo questions, it gives us a way to interact. Not interact. It gives us a way
Prepare.
to vet the questions and get rid of the other ones. But when I do Facebook Lives, I take questions live.
Oh, yeah.
And that's for Facebook
When you're looking
Live.
at your phone, like...
Well, people are like,
To
you're
see
sitting
your
so...
eyeball.
I need to... Wait, is there a mentions?
nostril hair.
Can you get on mentions on the iPad?
I'm sure. It's probably optimized for the iPad at this point.
I don't think it is.
Not for the iPad Pro?
No, I don't think it is.
But you can still download it,
Yeah,
right?
I love watching Facebook Live with Jared. I can count his nose hairs.
That's what I was saying.
I'm blind. No, I need to see if I can find it on here, and then I could use it on the Mac Pro.
And then I just harass him.
Mac Pro.
Whenever I see he's on, I just
iMac Pro.
harass him.
I could block you. I can simply just block
I just
you.
put worst podcast ever.
All right, thanks, Mark. David Eddington. Hey, Jared and team. Just a comment, not a question. I guess I need to give you an apology. Apologize.
You should.
I guess I need to give you an apology. A couple of weeks ago, when Pentax announced the release of the full-frame K1, I got a little carried away and called you a fanboy. After Steven read through the specs of the camera, you and Steven agreed that when Borrow Lenses gets a K1 in for rental, you would... I don't even know if they'll get one in for rental, to be honest with you.
I think they will.
You think they'll get Pentax in?
Why not?
Oh, fanboy.
Why not fanboy?
So I apologize for my comment and my thinking that you did not have an open mind when it comes to other cameras. Yes, I am one of the 3 Pentax users that watch RAWtalk.
One of 3.
Shit, I don't mind using it.
I mean, the specs look...
The specs look great. It's
Beefy, yeah.
all this stuff's about, I don't care what you put in my hands, I'm going to use it or play with it and make it feel good. That's the point. My goal, again, and this is, you guys, we all talk about this. I talk about it every day. Do we have a text of the week anymore, by the way?
Well, you try to game the system all
Every
the time.
week.
Every week you try to game the system.
We don't know what's real anymore.
Or you try to avoid saying things now on text.
Well,
that
have I
you would
said anything?
normally
Because
say.
in the last 2 weeks, now that I thought of it, I forgot that you do text of the week. So you sit there and look while I talk
I
about.
could tell you one right now, the one you curse everybody out.
When did I do that?
When Steven and I exchange texts that you send each of us separately. Here's one I sent to Steven. Rah, 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 we should be shooting the new drone. Rah.
Is that how he sounded?
I was cranky.
Roar.
Yeah. Super cranky yesterday. I won't even get into that.
I was very cranky yesterday. Steven was here. Noah was here. I don't know why I woke up super cranky.
I had to go home to get work done.
Well, I sent you home to do work.
Well, because I kept trying to help you out, and you were like, no, go home. All right.
I'm like, get out of here. I need to leave.
Jared, we want to shoot something. But Jared, it's time to shoot.
Well, we had a plan to shoot, and it was fine that what we were planning on was a sample unit.
And something...
Oh, yeah.
And the HDMI wasn't working,
Didn't
so
work,
we
yep.
couldn't make the user's guide, but they sent us another one overnight so that we could
Super
do
fast,
it,
yeah.
which is fine. I didn't get upset at that.
It's annoying to schedule a whole day around that, and then
I was
not.
actually okay
I was annoyed
because I was cranky as
and plus I started setting everything up, and I'm glad I didn't go.
so that happens.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Setting up.
the idea is that I want to do 52 5-minute portraits in a year at least.
Have fun with that.
I want to do one a week. I want to do one a week, and we focus on something different. That's what I want to do. That's my goal.
It might be possible to do something like that.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about it, but it's a workflow
And
thing.
I think once we get like a whole assembly line process down at the new factory, we'll be good to go.
Anyway, so that's
kind of
that. We want to play with the Pentax. Alex Wright. Hey, Fro Steven. His almighty Lord and Savior, the one, the only Todd God.
Jesus?
I'm looking at starting a photography YouTube channel due to the lack of quality ones currently available.
Don't do it.
Would you recommend...
Is this Noah?
No. Would you recommend
No?
just starting now and posting ASAP or saving up my pennies and buying some better gear? Looking at lights mainly. Thanks, guys. P.S. Come to Australia. Bindi and her brother Bob Irwin want to meet you.
Oi.
P.S.S. Thanks for all the great work and keep it up. You inspired me heaps of people. Oh, me and heaps of people. P.S.S.
Oh, Jesus.
S. Why is Noah so weird?
It's the best question of that whole letter right there.
So-
I'm still trying to figure that out.
What, with his old man glasses?
Yeah.
I like that he says there's lack of quality in YouTube channels. My warning to you is you say that now, and then you go and put it out into the world. You have to try it. I'm not dissuading you from
realize how
doing this.
hard it is.
If
Yeah.
you think that you can add value to the world of this, then go ahead and do it.
Bring
Prove
it, bro. Bring it on.
I'm not
It's
challenging.
already been brought.
I've already brung it.
Best YouTuber ever.
If you think that you
Half a
don't,
million subscribers. With a Porsche.
Yeah. For the record, I do not own a Porsche. There is no Porsche. I will not own a Porsche. Nope. Ever. If you think you can add value and you can do this, then do it. But don't start getting into this game. Should I wait till I have more gear? I started with my I had a D3 that did D3S that did 5 minutes of video recording. Or you could have used a flip cam
Use
at
your
the time.
frickin' phone.
Just use
Yeah.
whatever. And if you think you can do better, then do it. Put your money where your mouth is. That's what I have to say about that. But be prepared. Once you start,
Be prepared for the hate.
well, yeah, be prepared for people to tell you suck. If you think other people suck, they're going to tell you suck, and be ready for that. Not telling you not to do it, just go ahead and do it. Todd, Tom Good, Fro, Steven, and T-O-double-D. Since watching your video guide and starting to experiment, I noticed an issue with my Nikon lens trinity. All three zoom lenses focus when zooming or lose. All three zoom lenses lose focus when zooming
Told ya.
or widening and require focus racking during the process. Are there any Nikon mount lenses that maintain focus through that focal range? Thank you. By the way,
Get a
before we
prime
answer
lens.
that, we use 3 D750s on the show.
Yep.
All with 24 to 70s
24-70s
on it. 24 to 70 VR one is on this one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the VR is on yours. Yep.
I want
VR
the best
off.
on me. I want
That's
the
why I
best
did it.
on me at all times.
Yep.
Only the best.
So we know that the Canons can do this. We know that the
Canons
new
do it
Sony,
better.
the Sony lenses,
Yeah, they're not perfect.
They're not perfect, exactly.
you have to rack all
It's
the
not
time.
a handy cam.
But Nikon, you just change a millimeter and you got to
refocus.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I have a shirt here. I'm going to take a picture of it. Look at store.fronosphoto.com, and if they're up, you can purchase a straight out of focus shirt for whatever the price is. I haven't
What's
figured.
Steven's take on that?
Well, these cost like $10 a piece because we did them as digital prints.
Because they're awesome.
So we'll probably.
So I get $9.
You're gonna get nothing because I'll probably sell them for $12.99.
So he gets $2.
So I'll get $9.
I think we should just basically sell them for right about cost.
Nope. I think
Nope,
Steven
definitely
needs to be
not.
fed.
Definitely
I
not.
think it's
I'm not
$20.
putting my face
I
on a
guarantee
shirt.
you. That's what I'm saying. That's humiliating for him.
Yes.
Kind of.
You're
well,
making
I
fun
mean,
of me
but
with a
it's
freaking
true, but humiliating because he does suck.
It's a term of endearment.
But you're putting your face out there. $20. I'd pay $20 for that. I think I did. I paid $23 for the shirt, so it was well worth it for me.
It was funny because Todd thought he was pulling one over where he's going to sell this for $200, and little did he know we were selling them out front.
I think Steven, you should sell them for $20. Steven should definitely get a piece. I think everybody wants to hashtag feed Steven.
And I got to give you the ISO 12800 shirts for Todd.
Nah, nobody wants.
We
that.
need-
We need
freaking
the,
face.
I need a new store built.
You can get a cut of
Crappy,
it.
crappy
$20.
design anyway.
Question for anybody out there: are you a store builder in Squarespace, in Volusion, in Shopify? Do you use those systems as a profession? Is that what you build? Because we're looking to change what we do and update the store to make it look good. So I need somebody to build it. If you know somebody, and we're looking for a real deal person or
Full-time?
firm. No, it's not full time. It's they will build their
Just
job
building
will be
the-
to build
gotcha.
it, and then we should be able to maintain it
Maintain
from
it.
there. But I need somebody that is capable. If you are that person or know somebody, let them know to email Noah, Noah, at fronosphoto.com. Moving on. Sean Papile.
You got
Lee.
it?
Papile.
Yep.
What do you
That's
think
it.
about purist, quote unquote, place place limits on themselves, i.e. shooting only with a 50mm or shooting only film
Only
or
shoot
even
RAW.
with just an iPhone. I've seen the work of people like this, and it can be quite incredible. Should we, as photographers, put limits on ourselves to help our creativity? It's personal preference. If you want to really talk about purists, nobody can call them a purist. Nobody can call themselves a purist
With film.
with film cameras.
Post it online.
If you want to call yourself a purist and you shoot
Raw.
and you shoot tintypes and stuff, that's getting closer to being a pure photographer. But you want to take it all the way back to having a wagon darkroom dragging around the Old West in 1860, then you can call yourself a purist. But you're not a purist if you shoot film. If you're some hipster with a beard, black beard and glasses and tight jeans and flannel shirt, you're not a hipster just because you shoot... sorry, you are a hipster. You're not a purist
Yeah,
just
he is.
because you shoot film. So I think restrictions are good to put on yourself to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
For example, challenge yourself to only taking 36 pictures and challenge yourself to not look at the LCD screen for a shoot. Challenge yourself
using 12,800 ISO only.
Challenge yourself not to crop. I personally don't crop. And people ask, well, why are you so against it? The megapixels have gotten better.
Because I'm a purist.
It's not about that. It's about the reason I don't crop is that I do not want to second guess myself on every single picture I take. Because once you open Pandora's box, you got to go to Jared.
It's a good mentality to have, but even if
my
you're
mentality.
slightly off, you won't crop and post.
No.
Because you still come in with that mentality when you're shooting, but
Right.
after the fact, if you happen to be a hair
That's
off,
weird. You
don't-
second guess everything we do.
Moving on. Stefan, how do you spell your name? S-T-E-P?
E-P-H-E-N.
Yeah, this
Which
is A-N.
A-N is
That's
Stefan.
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 Yeah, both are Stefan.
Stefan Ehlert. What's the best way to get feedback from clients? Some clients don't like to answer questions or just say, it was good. Okay. Nothing really that I can improve on. Any ideas? I think the worst thing you can do is ask for feedback from clients. Unless they're readily going to give it to you, then don't ask.
Yeah.
Because you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
was everything okay? Like when somebody comes over and asks about my lunch and I didn't like the chicken, and I'm like, please don't ask that question.
yeah.
Don't
'cause
ask Jared that.
I'm not going to, I don't want to answer it.
Go.
But they're like, no, really, tell me. I'm like, well, first off, it's pressed chicken. It tastes like crap. It looks like
chicken.
crap. It's fake chicken. I don't eat fake chicken. I just did, and I'm not happy about it. But I don't want to have to say that. So don't ask. That's the thing is don't ask how it is. And if you think that you need to get feedback, you can send a survey, but you're asking for trouble. Like, hey, was everything great?
Yeah.
Well, if you ask that, they're going to be like, well, actually...
If they love it that much, they'll reach out to you first.
And it's okay if you don't hear from them. I'd rather not hear
that means
from
they
them.
usually hate it.
Well, I'd rather not hear from them. Art Arev. Hey, Fro, how would you handle an employee who drinks on the job and yells out obscene things while working? Most of the times,
Crazy.
lots of people hear him. Just wondering how you would talk to this person to calm them down. No, I can't. I kind of think this is a... I think they're talking about Todd.
yeah.
I think, but legitimately, I'll answer it honestly. If you're on a job and you do have somebody with you that's working and they're that, then obviously you fire them. Pretty simple.
Yep.
You give them one opportunity to make amends or to shut their mouth, or if it's just so far over the top, you can them.
Yeah, I
Unless
mean,
you're-
if it's for a shoot for a client or something, I mean that's unacceptable.
Well, rule number one is when you're an assistant on a job, you shut your mouth. You don't even talk if somebody talks to you. You almost don't talk if somebody talks to you.
Right, Joe?
Or
Right,
you-
Joe? Right, Joe? Shut up.
You make sure that you're not selling yourself on a job. If they have a question about the shoot, you're like, well, okay, you do your best. Well, let's ask the photographer in a minute. Or, oh, you're looking for a shoot? Here, give me your card. I'll pass it on to the photographer. Instead of I shoot photos too. It's not a marketing job for you. You're getting paid to be there. You're not getting there to make those connections and steal them from the photographer. That's how you get a foot in your ass and you get fired.
Yep.
And punched in the face,
Oh,
Noah.
What else?
Joe.
Oh, geez. Thiago...
Whoa, what'd you call him?
Thiago. Thiago Cardoso.
That's
Hello-
Figo.
Thiago.
It's clearly Figo.
No, Thigo is Thigo. There's an A in there.
It's Tyrion.
No.
Thiago Cardoso. Hello, Fro and crew. Every time you talk about Facebook, the main focus is to target people with good content. How about targeting clients that are companies? Do you think that Facebook is the right tool for that? What strategies come to your mind in this case?
Good
Now,
question.
this is absolutely the case. You have the ability to target companies on Facebook. You can search for how many people work at Keller Williams, whatever. You pick a company, and if those people have that their employment is working there, you can target ads just to them. And ads aren't going to cost very much money. If you want to get to the CEO and you have their email, plug that into Facebook to see if you can target that person, because you could spend money just targeting one person.
Or just call him at Ritz Camera and get fired.
What, when I called David Ritz?
Call the CEO.
I called David Ritz. We already went over this story, and I didn't get fired right away. At all. Okay, so you could targeting on Facebook is great. Say you have the CEO's information, and you can target them an ad, and you go, "Hey, Joseph Smith,
Yes.
look at me." And if you keep hammering them, you're gonna get their attention. That's a great way to also get a job if you want to get a job somewhere.
Yeah.
Make it seem like, hire this guy. I mean, somebody did that with Google. They bought AdWords and they sent it to the just Surge and whatever at Google, and they ended up getting their attention to get jobs.
Huh.
Okay,
Interesting.
that's not okay. There are 4 smalls, 9 mediums,
Oh, straight out of focus
13
shirts?
large, and 13 extra large. So there's not a lot left.
Oh, wow.
Why is so many extra large people?
Did you sell a lot at the live show?
Oh, snap, and there's 3 2Xs. How much? What does that add up to? 13 is 26, 36, so that's 35, 39, and 41, 2, 3. No, we only bought like 50 some, so we sold 14 or 15.
Nice.
But now we can open it up to the world.
Yep.
That's not bad to sell at the show.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Thanks, Heidi, for sending that as we were on the show. So targeting is great. Here's a great example. Comcast is building a new Comcast center in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Which means they're bringing about 4,000 new jobs. They're moving employees from somewhere to here. The best thing that you could do as a realtor is target people that work for Comcast and live in that area that is moving, right? So if you target those people, work for Comcast, live in, say, Fayetteville, Georgia, or whatever, let them know that great opportunity, great places to live in Philadelphia. Call Joe, call the realtor. Be that guy. Target those people, because the cost of doing that and then the commission that you're going to make on a $500,000 or $1 million property is going to far outweigh anything that you're spending there. That is target. And guess what? If they work with you and there's 4,000 other people coming and they tell their other friends in the company that you were great and you helped them find an awesome location, bam, bam, winning.
Boom. Network. Key.
Yeah, there's so many buildings being built, I think in response to the Comcast building.
And it's going to be the same
crazy.
exact building as the initial.
I don't know what
Comcast
it's gonna
building,
look
right?
like.
Or is it
I
gonna
I think it's going to be a little taller.
Is it
going
gonna be taller?
Yeah.
I wish it was a
Wow.
little bit taller. I wish
the
I was
city,
a baller.
the city is like Sim City when
really
you drive
is.
through town.
Well, Philly is nothing like New York. I mean, New York, you've got those
Well, when it comes to skyline and buildings, yeah.
skyscrapers in New York. They've got those mini ones that they can make like 70 stories tall, but only cover a half a block. They're like these micro
Like pencils.
Yeah, they are. They're like pencils. But in Philly, the old school thing was, if anybody looks up William Penn's hat, the
curse.
the rule. What curse?
It's the curse if you build higher than his hat.
It wasn't a curse. It was a law.
It was a gentleman's
It was a law.
agreement.
Yeah, but now they're saying there's a curse on the Philly sports teams because of that.
No, they used to put the hat on it, and anytime they did, they lost, or they put the jersey on it.
I thought it was if you built taller than William Penn, there would be a curse against the city.
What I always understood is that it was a gentleman's agreement that there would be nothing built higher than William Penn. I mean, maybe for superstitious purposes, and then they just said
Exactly.
screw it.
Do you know the story of how how Pennsylvania got its borders?
No.
So
Drone? Did they fly a drone around?
No, they went to the Native Americans and William Penn's people. Maybe it was William's Penn. Penn stands for Pennsylvania, Penn's forest, because there is a lot of forests in Pennsylvania. Well, what happened is the Native Americans said that you can have whatever land that you can walk. A man can walk in a day. So as far as they could walk, they would get that land or whatever they came up with. Well, what happened is the white man cheated and rode a horse. And that's how they got such a large area, is because the man could cover more ground on a horse than he could walk or run.
And then he licked him in the face and gave him smallpox.
and they cheated. So that's the story of that. But anyway, you weren't supposed to build above William Penn's hat, and now obviously everything's being built way above his hat.
Yeah.
The city is exploding, and there's a lot of the real estate is a big boom. All right, moving on. Dylan Hendrickson. Hey, Jared, I have a friend that is in a pickle.
Oh,
Like a pickle
Get
suit.
him out because it gets sour in there.
With a client not paying for a session for a wedding. Wondering if you could give little guidance as what to do in this situation. From what I know, it was last fall and the client got 2 photos so far. 2 photos. They are not able to contact the client and have no payment. As of now, I know they didn't have a contract, but we're messaging via Facebook Messenger.
Real
Anything you can
professional.
give as advice would be appreciated. Thanks for all the great content. Keep on shooting. Yeah, the simple answer is you don't shoot a wedding until you get paid something.
Yep.
And you
You
don't
need a
deliver
deposit.
the
Down payment,
files
yeah.
until you get all of the payment.
Yep.
I like to tell people that I don't want all the payments. A lot of people are like, I need to have a third at the signing of the agreement.
Yep.
A third the week before,
yeah.
and a third the day of. I personally do a third at
third.
a third at the signing, a third either a week before or the day of,
And then when you
And
deliver.
I don't want payment. I don't want final payment until I deliver everything.
kinda
That's
how it
because
should be.
I haven't delivered the final product. I don't want to get paid until I deliver it.
You haven't delivered your
That's,
part yet. Yep.
That's my personal way of doing it. Some people don't want to do that, but in this case, 1, you don't have a contract. 2, this
dumb.
doesn't sound very professional. I wouldn't be shooting for nothing. I wouldn't show up for nothing. You need to pay
Yeah,
me.
the deposit. I always use the deposit to lock the date in. Like
Exactly.
I can't lock that date until I deposit. Now for video, I always did 50 to lock the date, and then 50 on deliverable.
%. Nicole
Makes sense.
Bolas. What's up, fellas? What's the best way to tell a potential client that the guy that is trying to undercut you on price isn't a professional photographer without bashing them? I was always told to build value in yourself, but sometimes I want to make them aware of how amateur the other guy is and that he doesn't have good enough glass to what they are looking for. So this is one of those things that you do need to face. You need to win the job. If somebody is that bad of a photographer, it should be evident in their work. And all you really need to say to somebody is like, if I'm going to go with Al Zaroli, made up name, it's not real. Don't look up Al Zaroli.
Made up.
It's made up. Al Z. So they go to Al Z. They're like, Al Z will do it for better, for cheaper. And I'm like, have you seen their work? Have you vetted their work? Are you happy with what they're doing? If you're happy with their work, that's great. But they wouldn't be if they really looked at it. They would see whatever. You just have to find a way to tiptoe around it. But don't lose a job because you're bad mouthing somebody. If you don't think their work is up to par, then let these people know that. Look, make sure you ask this question. Hey, did you ask this question of that photographer? Have you asked to see more of their work? Because I think it's important that they do post maybe their best stuff. But I used to work with them, or I know people that have worked with them that have come to me after working with this person and haven't been happy. I'm not just trying to badmouth them because you should look at their work. If you're happy with them, go with them. But here's some questions you need to ask before you do it. And that's things that you can ask.
I think some people are just blinded by picture. They don't know what a good picture is.
Blinded by the light, lit up like a douche in the middle of the night. Blinded by the light, douche. Why would you make a song Blinded by the Light and say douche? Is it deuce or douche? All right,
For
so that's
you, it's douche.
Bill Manning. Jared, I'm listening to the hashtag AskGaryV audiobook, and everything you're doing with Frono's Photo makes complete and total sense. I just wanted to say thank you for translating his advice to us in building a photography business. It's really cool that you're doing pretty much everything he recommends with utilizing social media to tell us your story and your advice on how to apply our entrepreneurial spirits to our photography business. Well, you are welcome, Mr. Bill Manning. He's talking about the Ask Gary V book.
Yep.
It's a book that I reviewed. Noah, are you reading it yet? Are you reading the Ask Gary V book? Yeah. All right, I'll talk to you later. Stop being weird. Noah, Joe, get me my wheel, please. So thank you guys for the flying solo questions. The place where you can ask them is on Facebook when I request them when we do flying solo.
Typically Wednesday nights.
Yeah, typically it's the day before RAWtalk at some point.
Yep.
Hey, say, look, it's the Wheel of FRO.
Oh, look at that.
Last week it landed on the grand prize winner, which we're still figuring
What
out what
did
to
he
give the guy because it wasn't prepared for that.
Not at all.
Because we were still in negotiations for a grand prize. Oh, well.
So now what's the grand prize?
We're going to get into that in a minute. We've got Rode microphone each and every week. We use the Rode Broadcasters. They are right here. I love my Rode mic. Hi, Rode mic. Hello.
Radio voice.
Oh, and let me remind you people that if you buy one of these mics and you have no idea how to work your audio, yes, it's going to get you a great signal to work with, but unless you tweak like Steven, who knows what he's doing, because we've heard people use these mics. We've heard people use these mics and can't come close to the audio bin. And Steven...
How's this sound?
Steven,
how's this? Is this good, Steven? How's that sound?
Steven gets all the applause for making our audio some of the best
Sounds great,
podcasting
Todd.
audio in the industry. Question mark means you get to pick anything on the wheel. BorrowLenses.com. Go to BorrowLenses.com. Is it /Fro?
Yep.
/Fro to check them out. Let them know that the Fro sent you on Twitter and that you're using Borrow Lenses. I highly recommend that. If the thing is, people always ask, I don't have a professional piece of gear. Well, you can rent it and you can build it into the price of the job. And make sure that you get it a couple days before so you can learn it and play with it. The last thing you want to do is take a camera out of the box that you've never used before and attempt to go shoot. That's like, you'll probably set to 12,800.
That's like our normal 5-minute portraits.
I'm a professional, Todd. I don't need... I'm a...
Booyah.
Fro Prize, you can sit on my face. Squarespace.com/Fro to get your 14-day free trial.
14
Gosh
day.
darn
Don't add
it.
another day there.
Yeah, use the code Fro at checkout to get 10% off. And we are in currently post-production editing the Fro Knows Photo. Oh, I don't even know what the hell it's called.
Well, let's check in with Dan. Dan, how's it going? It's pretty good. I just want to make sure the screen feels good. All right, goodbye.
And that's Dan, our editor, who's another editor who's doing that right now so that we can get it out.
Yep.
But this is a free guide. It's going to be 2 to 3 hours of free content about websites. Awesome. Not just Squarespaces, but it's also a way for me to plug Squarespace, and hopefully you use it. Steven, spin again. Videoblocks.com/go/Fro. Videoblocks is what we use as glue when it comes to the 5-minute portraits. So go ahead and use Videoblocks. Rode microphone again. We got Kessler Crane. KesslerCrane.com. Is there a /Fro?
/Fro.
/Fro.
Pretty much everything /Fro.
And what's the code for discount?
Fro10 for 10% off at checkout.
Yep, we use Kessler Crane. We've got a bunch of them. You can get a travel jib. You can get all the different things.
We've got the Traveler and the Pocket Jib
If
Pro.
you're doing a lot of video, Kessler Crane is your Johns. Go check it out.
The John.
I'm going to come back to the spin again and grand prize in a minute. Adoramapics.com. There is still that code available.
They forgot to turn it off again.
They didn't forget to turn it off. They just told me they were extending it.
Extending it again. That's
Nice.
awesome.
It's extended. PXJPMTL25 to get 25% off your metal print order. Now you can get hexagons too.
Oh, that includes the hexagons.
Nice.
It's metal, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, they're brand new.
I still think somebody needs to take a picture of a beehive. I'm talking about the inside of the honeycomb and then print it on multiple hexagons. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
And then put Winnie the Pooh underneath it with Eeyore. Aurora HDR.
AuroraHDR.com/Fro.
/Fro. Use the
Check
code
out Fro
to get your
Code
Aurora
Fro.
HDR.
Yeah.
Who has used this? If you've been using Aurora HDR, let us know. I want to see the results that you guys have gotten.
Yeah.
From playing around with it, it's pretty easy to use, and you're getting better results than if you just tried to use and do crappy HDR. But because Trey Ratcliffe uses it, you know it's got to be good. Check it out, and if you haven't, or if you have, I want to see your results. Give us some feedback. Hashtag us, Twitter us, send me a message somewhere because I want to hear how you guys have done.
Yeah.
We've got Think Tank Photo Bag. Check out my bag at store.fronosphoto.com. Todd used it the other day.
I did.
Anybody say anything?
Oh, they said, "Where'd you get that crappy bag at?" I said, "Somebody gave it to me."
Exactly.
No, I somebody shot at me in Ocean City and it deflected the bullet, so it's good.
ballistic
Well, it has
material.
ballistic nylon on it. It's
But
what
no,
you should
seriously, it was good. Got my stuff in and out nice and easy. I like the shoulder strap too. Didn't hurt my arm
Yeah,
after
it
like
is
an
nice.
hour.
It's
so
kind
I
of
walked
what you
around
should
for a
wear to
while.
a Trump rally, a ballistic nylon bag. Audioblocks.com/go/Fro. That's where you hear this music coming from right now. Also, there's 8 trillion other pieces of audio that you can use for your videos. Spend the $99 for the year, and then you can have royalty-free music to use in all of your freaking videos. Hoya. Don't forget about all the different things that Hoya has, from their filters down to the step-up rings from Tokina as well, and Kenko, and those things that we talked about earlier. Revert back to the plug earlier in the show. Todd, spin again.
Todd, drink
and
again.
Road. I'm gonna write the grand prize thing.
You're gonna write it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Why don't you get to the next thing? Why don't you move on to the next thing?
All right. Well,
while I do this.
I will.
What do we have today?
A submission for Wheel of FRO. It's a little light today, but we got a nice letter with this one. So it's this is from Jesper Nielsen, and he's Danish.
Jesper.
So here's a
Sweet name.
So hey Fro, here is a Danish. Thank you. I'm hungry. By
Is that
the
what
way.
he sounds like?
Hey Fro, here's a Danish. And it says, Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. Welcome to RAWtalk. It's time for Spin the Wheel.
Now he's Mario.
Yeah, he continues. Yeah, he's Mario at this point. And good show. It really makes me happy when you can't shoot so much anymore due to sickness. So follow you guys really helps me up here in Denmark. I don't know. I thought Denmark's not in Canada, right?
Up here in Denmark,
yeah, it's
he
not
said.
in Canada, right? Thanks, guys, and give Told a damn bag. Told, by the way, T-O-L-D, not Todd. Told. Give Told a damn bag. Regrets, Jasper Nielsen.
Regrets. You mean regards?
Yeah, I think you meant regards. Anyway, all kidding aside, it sounds like the show has helped him through a trying time, which is always nice to hear that we can help you out. He said he has a sickness. He can't shoot as much anymore, but he really enjoys listening to the show.
As long as he's entertained,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yep.
Anybody?
Down with the sickness. Yep.
This is serious, Jared.
Down with the sickness.
We just
Give
don't
me
wanna hear
luck.
you
I'm a luck.
sing.
Down with.
And I love Danishes, by the way, anyhow.
Delicious.
I don't even know what a Danish is.
Delicious.
You know what a Knish is?
It's like a Danish.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
I don't know. It's a Yiddish Knish, and they also used to call that a Knish too for women.
The Harry Kanish?
Todd,
What?
this is a PC.
That's what you mean.
This is a PC show here.
I mean, I had a furry Kanish one time. I had to send it back.
Is it on your face?
I wanted it, but I was like, no, send this
All right.
back.
What,
There's
does this
something
person
in it.
have a song, or they
Yes.
just
Do we have audio
anyway,
for this?
So that's Jesper Nielsen. So I hope you feel better soon, my friend. And here is his Danish version of Spin That Wheel.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, og velkommen til RAWtale. Det er tid til at spinde dette hjul. Hej hej.
Superman, that
Can we get one of our people in Japan to make us one, please? I really want to hear.
What
us
will that
speak.
sound
That'd
like?
be a good one.
I don't know what it would sound like. I don't know Japanese.
Everybody from Eastern Europe sounds like a supervillain, though, when they say it.
By the way, so let's keep moving.
They were in Die Hard, apparently.
Can we see what I wrote up there?
Epson.
It says-
E-P-S-O-N.
It says Epson.
Yeah.
Because they said they would give us a P600, and I have verified that if it lands there, somebody's going to win a P600.
Wow.
And that doesn't include last
Well, it
week.
wasn't last week because it wasn't official.
So this week it starts.
It's official now, and I'm sure there's some restrictions may apply. I don't know what the restrictions are. Like if you live in Mexico or something,
It's hard to get around that
You'll
wall.
probably have to bribe somebody to get it.
Actually, if you live in Mexico, it'd be hard to get over that wall. That's
Yeah.
funny. A lot of our Canadian friends are like, "We're building a wall already for you." I need to pick a question. I'm going to do that after, and you'll pop it up.
Okay.
Okay. So because I don't want to take the time, so we're going to spin the wheel.
Sure.
All right.
Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com, og velkommen
Around and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. My neighbor is home.
Incoming text.
No, I let him know that this is it. This is it. This is it. We're almost getting to the loft. I mean, the
the
Fro
end.
Factory. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. The winner, chicken dinner, is going to land on my face or Squarespace. Squarespace! Congratulations to
Bill Manning.
you have just won yourself a year of Squarespace. If you'd like to check out Squarespace, go to
Ooh, hey.
squarespace.com/fro to get your 14-day free trial. Also want to thank Epson for stepping up to be the grand prize winning people.
Nice.
If you are a company and
No, right in the middle of the plug, you weirdo.
Noah sneezed or coughed or
That was a
something.
big cough,
He
it sounds
choked on
like.
something. If you are a company that would like to get your stuff up on the Wheel of Fro and we like your stuff, please contact Noah at Fro Knows Photo. And if you have a really awesome prize that you want to get up there, maybe we'll do it. You
Or
could do
just
that.
send him a message saying, stop being weird.
If you have a cough suppressant, contact Noah at
If you work at Halls or Ricola,
or Febreze.
oh. Did you want to get on him for that last week now, or?
Oh, man.
No, let's stay away from that. All right, so that is the end of Flying Solo and the Wheel of Fro.
End of the show.
That is basically going to be the end of the show. You can get all of your photo news and more over at FroKnowsPhoto.com/RAWtalk-175. big thanks coming back to the 500,000 plus people who went
Yeah,
ahead and subscribed on the show. On YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It's not just a vanity number to see more people subscribed. It's just so that when you do subscribe, you may get notified more often that a video has gone live.
That should be the hashtag today. Fro 500K.
Yeah, that works.
Okay, we'll do Fro 500K.
If you've made it this far.
And wait, I got something. Thanks. Slow clap. I got something. Can we get the Twitter for Febreze and ask them to hashtag Febreze to send us free stuff?
Hashtag freshen Noah's ass.
No. Hashtag freshen the fro. I think that would be good. That if you reach out to Febreze and say hashtag freshen the fro,
Febreze?
send Fro some Febreze.
Febreze. So we can be comfortable in the
It's
bathroom.
like radiators.
Radiators.
The radiators are going in. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have anything to add?
Nothing.
Todd?
Hashtag I love Todd.
And that is going to be it. Thank you for watching RAWtalk episode number 175. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.